And good morning. It is Monday, December 20th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody. We welcome you on this Monday morning. The moon is out there, full moon or close to it, and the sun's going to come up shortly. And it's going to be a magnificent Monday, and we're glad to have you with us. On the air for Absolute Kubota, Don Hamlet's here this morning. Don, good morning.
Good morning.
How was your weekend?
It was awesome. Had a great weekend.
You have a couple of days on the weekends right now, don't you?
As in extra days off? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yes, you know, we will be shut down. Just so everybody will know, we will be shut down Friday and Saturday this week. We will be closed. So.
And we will too.
Good for you and me. But what we were talking about before we come on the air, we've got a job to do this weekend since we're going to be coaching the Titans. We're going to get them all straightened out down there. So I'll let you be the head coach and I'll be your assistant.
We just got the Beatle Thursday night.
That's right.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how you coach fumbling the ball and what happened yesterday, shooting yourself in the foot. But
I don't either. Or injuries, you know.
I would like to correct a couple of officials' calls, but that's too late too.
I've always wanted to do that.
Well, we're talking about going to at least talk about Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. That's where Don hangs out. That's his day job, and right now, not a night job, just a day job.
Yeah, it's just a day job. Hopefully, it stays that way.
Y'all open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m.
That is correct.
And closed on Saturdays.
Yes, sir.
Just through the alluding to.
Yes, just through the winter months, and then it should be the first weekend of February. We will start opening back up on Saturdays.
Well, we have talked about some of the equipment that. Although you've said, in as far as Kubota goes, it's such a demand for their equipment that it's a little bit harder to get it. Sometimes maybe a little bit longer. Of course, you have dealer friends that you associate with, and I guess if you give you a little time, you can get just about anything anybody needs right now.
Yeah, just a little bit of time. I mean, we do still have stuff coming in. We've got a good supply of like small tractors right now. Got a couple of 70 horsepower tractors. We've got several in that 25, 35 horsepower range. Got that stuff sitting there ready to go. If anyone needs to make a year-end purchase on any type of lawnmower and equipment, you know, we've got that sitting there ready to go. Like always, our service department is wide open. What time is it? 7 o'clock, isn't it? You know, they're back there. They're getting after it, so they're ready to go.
Well, a good service department to back up the sale is always a nice thing to have, and it just helps. No doubt, it increases your enthusiasm to make a sale. To know that if there's you got to have some service from time to time.
A lot of my customers, Coleman, come in and you know they're maybe new to the area and they've never had a bigger piece of equipment like this before, and they're like, "Do y'all work on it?" And what's my slogan? Everything from what, Coleman?
Everything from weed eaters to hay balers.
That's right. We'll fix them all. We'll get you fixed up and in a timeliest manner that we can and get you going. Parts have been no problem for any of our equipment that we sell. You know, with Kubota, if you come in and we can get it on order before 11 o'clock today, most of the stuff will be here in the morning when we get to the shop to open up. It'll be there, and we can give you a call shortly thereafter to come pick it up.
Well, it really doesn't get any better than that.
Oh, no. I mean, that's great. I don't think there's very few other companies in the industry, I think, can say that. So.
And nobody would expect you to carry everything. I mean, you can't have every part there.
Oh, no. We'd have to have an Amazon-sized warehouse or something, you know, to keep everything in stock. But, you know, just getting it in there quick. Right. But the things that we do keep in stock, blades, belts, oil filters, fuel filters, air filters, your oil, your hydraulic fluids, we keep all of that stuff in stock all the time. I mean, that stuff's going to be there.
And you make sales to contractors and to homeowners and do-it-yourselfers, this sort of thing. It really runs the whole gamut there.
Oh, it does, yeah. Just anybody from somebody that might own just a little half-acre lot that just wants to cut their grass, all the way up to someone that owns hundreds of acres that wants to, you know, grow and harvest hay or to whatever they might want to do, construction equipment. You know, we got into that in 2021, and, you know, we're really enjoying meeting those people and getting into that. It's really working out well.
And what is it you say if you have this particular instrument, you'll never use a wheelbarrow again?
A loader.
Oh.
That's the front end loader on a tractor. If you have a front end loader, you never need a wheelbarrow ever again.
And if you don't have one, you've got them available.
I got them. I've got some sitting there ready to go.
Okay, and you will be closed this coming
Friday.
And of course Saturday. But
Of course.
right. But you're already closed on Saturday right now. Closed Friday. So whatever you're going to do this week, do it through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday, come on in. We'll do our best to take care of you and get you fixed up.
And we'll be sitting, hopefully, right back here this time next Monday morning and talking about what a good week you had.
That's right. And an awesome Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thank you very much, Don. Appreciate you being with us this morning. Don Hamlet, he's in sales at Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Everything from weed eaters to hay balers. And we're 10 minutes after the hour here on a Monday morning. I will say that a little painting took place since I left here Friday, and we have a Studio B has a new coat of paint and a different color. I don't think they're through, and but nevertheless, we're glad that progress is being made. And I am glad to introduce my guest this morning, who is Myron Lasseter, who comes to be with us this morning. Myron, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
And how are you doing?
Well, a little chilly this morning. It was a frosty morning for sure.
You are a pilot. You still an active pilot? You
I
still
am.
fly planes?
I am, yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
your
sir.
livelihood.
That's my livelihood.
Well, what was your last trip?
Last trip?
Last week?
Oh, it was, but I've been so many places this past week that I can't remember where I've been. You know, Colorado and Indiana and Minnesota.
All in 1 week.
Yeah, a couple 10,000 miles or so.
That
I'm
doesn't phase you. That's just part of a day's work.
It is. I'm currently the director. I've been for about 4 years now, director of aviation for Rogers Group, the crushed stone and asphalt paving company out of Nashville. And it's been a wonderful job. It's my career-ending job, I would say, because I replaced the director who'd been there for 46 years.
Oh.
And so I got the call a little over 4 years ago and been very appreciative for this job and wonderful people to work for, wonderful company, and just a great safety culture. And
I want to go back because, if you don't mind, how old are you?
I turned 50 this past year.
Okay. Well, I was thinking you were near the age of one of my sons, Clark.
Clark, yes, we went to
You remember?
school.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking it was Brian. When we talked to Brian last night, he knew Raymond, but he didn't know you.
Right, he come later, yeah. Yeah, me and Clark went to school together, played ball.
Yeah, well, but at that time you were just a little Babe Ruth ball player. At what point did you decide that aviation was for you? And tell us a little bit. You may have said this before. You've been my guest before, but I don't remember. And I'd kind of like to know your story.
Yeah,
in a
quick
nutshell.
rundown. I grew up with Daddy being a pilot. He had actually gotten out of flying. The golf had kind of took precedence, but he and Arch Agee gave me my first airplane ride back in 1974 or 5. I was about five years old, 6, and scared me to death. and little by little, with him getting back into flying, my brother was into flying and stuff. So I grew up with it. But one day we had started an aerospace class at Southside Elementary. Diane Goodall at the time, Cozart now, had began that, and I was involved in it, but I was too young to be involved in it because it was a middle school type class. But I was in the 3rd grade, 4th grade, and knew just about as much about airplanes as she did, but she took me under her wing. And one day riding on the bus back home from Southside, David Wright was my bus driver, and I asked him what the likelihood of him letting me off at the airport would be. He says, if you can get permission from your mama and daddy, I'll drop you off there. And so I got permission, and he started letting me out of the bus at the airport. The bus went right by there on Franklin Road. And so I started hanging around the airport, and I was about 12 or 13 years old. And that summer, they allowed me to, I think they asked Daddy to sign a child labor law consent, and they started paying me to pump gas. Dixie Airways was there. That was the company that had moved into Lebanon. They run canceled checks at night. But we had the 2 hangars, was all we had, and very little asphalt and a 3,500-foot runway. But I pumped gas that summer, cleaned airplanes, and it went from there. I've been there ever since.
So that's how you got started.
I'd have to call them to come get me at dark.
You've never, have you ever had a fear of being in the air? I'm not
every
saying,
day. No,
I'm saying that you might not have had a scary moment, but I mean, there's not a fear in flying with you.
No, well, it's all part of my life.
Yeah.
You know, there's a healthy fear in flying that I've kept, and I've had my share of emergency situations in the air. Somebody asked me the other day how much flying time I had, and it's sad to say the computer keeps up with it as far as my job and my currencies. But when I took over the airport back, that was in 2008, and did that through 2014. I had my logbook had just been neglected. I was continuing to fly, but I just wasn't logging the time like I should have, other than the fact of keeping my currencies and stuff like that. But I have well over 10,000 hours in the air, but I couldn't tell you really how many hours I've spent in the air.
Okay, we got to take a break right here. We've got some things that are on your mind, your agenda that we're going to talk about, and we'll do that when we return here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota, a fully staffed service center and parts department. Most of their minor services can be done the same day, servicing Exmark, Kubota, Land Pride, Rednecks, and Billy Goat. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. They're working a very minor wreck here on Harding Place right over I-24. It's still dragging along just a bit on 24 eastbound, just past Whites Creek Pike, coming in through the Jolton area as they clean up that earlier wrecks. Just now actually starting to pick up on that traffic volume 24 west at Harding Place. Donut Distillery presents Boozin' with Buddies. Stop by their Christmas pop-up bar. Log on today, donutdistillery.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Do you know why Rocky Williams Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Mount Juliet sells so many cars, trucks, SUVs, and muscle cars? Well, it all starts with a simple idea. Why not give everyone a hassle-free shopping experience for their new or used vehicle with no haggling, no negotiating, and no runaround? Every vehicle on the Rocky Williams lot is marked down incredibly low with the price posted on the window. You're treated with fairness and respect every time. No pressure, just a friendly, warm, inviting staff dedicated to finding the exact vehicle you need. So Rocky Williams from your Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram has become the original no-haggle, one-price dealer. Go online to rockywilliams.com to see the incredible deals yourself. Every car and truck is listed with a no-haggle low price. This is for real, and you're gonna love it. People drive for miles to get some of the lowest prices in America on their new or used cars or trucks. Go to rockywilliams.com or come on over to our brand new spacious dealership next to Walmart in Mount Juliet.
The Pavilion Senior Living residents are inviting you to become their new neighbor. If you're looking for a sign to move, call us at 444-5556 to learn more about the details. Or go to thepavilionseniorliving.com for more information. Or better yet, just drop by 1408 Medical Center Drive right behind Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital and see for yourself. You should move here.
Hello, we are A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction, community trusted since 1977.
One of the real joys of the holiday season is the opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for your business.
And most importantly, your trust in us.
From everyone at A.G. & Johnson, we wish you a happy holiday season.
Merry Christmas! Happy New Year!
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Happy holiday season!
As promised. Coleman and Company, it's Monday morning. Myron Lasseter is here, accomplished airplane pilot. Now, there's some things you want to talk about this morning. The Bill Sattler Memorial Aerospace Foundation. So take it away on that.
Yeah, Coleman, we really didn't have any subject matter this morning. It's just nice being here and seeing you again and conversing. But people ask me along the way now what I'm involved in other than flying airplanes for a living and stuff. And with the focus now is giving back to our youth. I just mentioned getting off a school bus. There's people that paved the way for me as a young person and gave me opportunities that I wouldn't otherwise have. Danny Evans being one, at a young age being able to fly a jet for Cracker Barrel was phenomenal. That's unheard of today at what age I was then. But I want to give back to the community, back to the industry. And so a friend of mine passed away back in 2014. He was actually the best man in my wedding, standing next to Daddy. And it was Bill Sattler. Bill, I grew up under his wing, and he owned a sheet metal manufacturing plant in Nashville. And he had a hangar he built at Lebanon, very nice hangar and stuff. And once he passed, he had a daughter, and she said, "What should we do?" And we sat down one day, and I said, "Well, the hangar is what it is." And I says, "What do you want to do?" She said, "I don't know. Dad loved aviation. Dad loved children. Dad loved building airplanes and whatnot." And I said, "Well, why don't we just set up a foundation, an education foundation, and try something like that?" And so little by little, along with Gary Piper and April Duggar is her name, we set up the Bill Sattler Memorial Aerospace Foundation. And we've been going now for 5 years with it, 4 camps so far in the summer for middle school children and high school children. And what we do is we solicit to the area schools and challenge an essay to be written by students with aerospace dreams, favor. And so we go through those, and we pick 25 children each spring, and they're enrolled in our aerospace camp. And we spend a week with these children. It's not overnight camp, but they're brought each morning and picked up each afternoon. We go through a full gamut of aerospace. It's not just airplanes, but it's space travel. We have astronauts come in. We have engineers, mechanics. We have all kinds of, we try to cover the whole realm of aerospace.
How long have you been doing that?
It's been about 5 years now.
So you've had five?
We had 4 camps. We missed the COVID year last year, but this will be our 5th year.
Okay, so you've done four times, and 25 each time.
25
so you've
each.
had 100 people then.
Or so. And out of those, there are now rated private pilots out of those middle school children that we had on the first camps. And so we began the high school camp a couple of years ago, and that is a on-the-road camp for the week. We go and travel to MTSU, to like Arnold Engineering Aerospace in Tullahoma, the airport in Nashville. I bring them down to the hangar I have in Nashville now in our corporate operation and teach them about corporate flying and that realm of aviation and whatnot. But it's exciting to me to see these children really take to this and involve themselves in it. And it's a 501c3 foundation. We do not charge anything for the child to come to the camp. And
all 25 of them pretty much enjoyed this, you think?
They absolutely do. And the thing about it is now that also the EAA chapter, that I've been involved in the Experimental Aircraft Association, Chapter 863 in Lebanon since the beginning. I'm a charter member of it. But when the Sattler,
that's one Elvis Huff is.
Elvis
was on
is
my program one day.
Exactly. Elvis has done a great job. He's come in as a PR and marketing guy for us and done a fantastic job. But the Sattler Foundation builds upon the EAA's youth education and youth program, and now we've got our own youth program, youth membership for the EAA, and we've got a scholarship fund set up, and it's through the headquarters of EAA called the Ray Foundation, and we've issued 4 full scholarships for private pilot ratings for these youth that have completed those, and the 5th one is underway. So that's been and it's all because of the Sattler Foundation building upon and then partnering with the EAA that we do that. And now another whole realm of it is the Commemorative Air Force. And I'll tell you a little bit about that. So.
Well, I asked you about your mother during the break, and
Yeah.
you said she's doing fine and
She
she's
is.
listening. So, hello, Mrs. Lasseter. What's your mother's for?
Sarah.
Sarah. Yeah, I knew
Yeah.
that, but it didn't. Okay, thank you for reminding
We
me.
took her on a mini vacation a week or so ago, and I took her up on the high mountain of Sevierville up there, and she was a little uneasy riding in that car on those narrow winding roads, but we got her up there in the rocking chair on the porch looking out about 100-mile visibility, and she really enjoyed herself.
Well, you were telling me your whole family did that.
We did.
Your brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And we have done that it's wonderful.
It is.
I wish we could still do it. We haven't been able to the last 2 or 3 years, but I'm glad you had a good time. And Sarah, we're glad you're doing well and listening. I still think of Raymond a lot, and I was telling you, Myron, I'm doing the top stories of the year week from Thursday. It's going to be an abbreviated edition, but it took me a good while to get all I could in there about Raymond. His passing.
Yeah, we miss him. We miss the conversations.
Well, your Commemorative Air Force Music City Wing. Talk a little more about that.
Well, I got a call back last year about February. Well, this year, February. Friends of mine that he is the COO of the Commemorative Air Force out in Dallas, Texas, and it's a foundation that preserves warbirds and aircraft used during the conflicts. But what it does is it builds on our veterans and honoring our veterans. And what we've done is launched the Music City Wing of the Commemorative Air Force based in Lebanon now, and we've been issued an airplane. It's a Fairchild PT-19, was a World War II primary trainer. A lot of guys primarily trained in that airplane, along with the Stearman airplane, the biplanes. We had that airplane issued to us, and we're going to use it to honor our veterans by giving them rides, reuniting them with the World War II airplanes, and the youth program. We've got they have a strong youth program with a lot of financial backing behind it to just continue to promote aviation and aerospace industry to our youth.
Is it a hard sell at all? I imagine as many youth as we have, there's a certain percentage of them that are inclined.
You have those that have the initial interest, but the ones that are sold out to it, and like through that essay program and our interview process, we find out if they're really interested. And you can really tell in a child that they are keyed up on that industry. And then we watch the ones just sell out. And they're facing their college year. You know, we've got the first class is now finishing high school and beginning college. So they've got their dreams, they got their plans set on aerospace education. They could be air traffic controllers, they could be aircraft mechanics, they can be pilots, they can be aeronautical engineers.
You're exposing them to a lot of the aircraft industry.
Yeah, just not airplanes, but the whole industry. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's I had no idea this is what we were going to talk about this morning. But you were doing a lot in your spare time.
That's just been, and I tell folks that I'm busy. I'm very busy with my day job, but I'm the guy that kind of kicks the top of the fire ant mound. You know, I know all the people, I know the right players, and I try to be that guy that says, hey, would you mind taking the lead on this? Would you mind involving yourself in this? And I've had a tremendous amount of support with that.
If someone is interested, maybe a parent or a child interested in getting in touch with you or have some questions, what's the best thing to do?
Well, our website for the Sattler Foundation is www.thesattler, and that's SATTLER foundation.org. And you can go on there. We welcome donations. Anybody wishing to contribute. Like I said, it's a nonprofit organization. Be a tax deduction for you if you were to donate. But you can see the program on our website there, and a video and pictures and stuff tells more about the foundation. And then, like I said, it partners with our Experimental Aircraft Association chapter and our Commemorative Air Force Wing. Here in Music City.
Well, we've got 1 minute left here this morning, and again, I appreciate you you joining us. I didn't know, honestly, I didn't know you were involved in all of this. You got to be a busy guy.
Oh, well,
Every once in a while, I see where you're speaking at a funeral or something.
Well, that's my other side. I get people walk up to me and say, "Hey, I just had one 2 weeks ago. I want you to do my funeral." And I'm like, "Well, you may be doing mine." And so, anyway, I appreciate our town, our community, and
you actually live in Watertown, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I
jumped ship from Leeville, and I got a farm up in Watertown.
How many acres you got?
It's 23 or 4 or 5 acres or something like
farm.
that. Yeah, just enough to keep up with amongst all the other things. So.
Well, thanks for being with us.
Yes, Coleman. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you, and Happy New Year.
Take a break here. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota, they have a fully staffed service center and parts department. Most of their minor services can be done the same day. Servicing Exmark, Kubota, Land Pride, Red Max and Billy Goat, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning, THP. Wrapping up that earlier crash in the Jolton area. 24 eastbound just past Whites Creek Pike. Traffic's building pretty good right now on 65 coming up to Williamson County. Still finishing up a minor wreck over here on Harding Place right at I-65. Nolensville Pike at Sugar Valley. That wreck in Nippers Corner hopefully will be cleared in just a few minutes. It's an underwater world of wonder at Ripley's Aquarium. Check them out at Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota subcompact and compact tractors. Our reliable #1 selling tractors are designed for easy operation and feature all the performance-matched attachments needed to tackle any job. Right now, put 0 down and get 0% APR for 84 months plus save up to $1,200 now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/offers for full disclaimer.
Visit Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main Street in Lebanon.
Hi, I'm Mayor Rick Bell.
And I'm Sarah Haston, your Economic Development Director for the City of Lebanon.
And we're asking each of you to shop Lebanon this Christmas season.
Are you ready for the hustle and bustle, Mayor?
Absolutely. 'Tis the season, and I'm ready to get everyone checked off my list by shopping Lebanon and shopping small.
Well, it's definitely important to support our Lebanon business community.
Indeed. Our Lebanon businesses are the backbone of our community, and they support us all year.
That's right. Let's show some local love at Christmas. We are asking everyone to commit to give back by shopping your local retailers here in Lebanon.
Have a Merry Christmas from all of us at the City of Lebanon.
A short week and a quick turnaround. Find the Titans on Thursday Night Football this week at Nissan Stadium to host the San Francisco 49ers. The award-winning Titans countdown happens at 6. Then kickoff of Titans and 49ers with Mike Keith and Dave McGinnis happen at 7:20. Thursday Night Football here.
Brought to you by Fakes and Hooker, Bates Ford, Steve Ball Plumbing, the Jewelers, and the City of Lebanon Gas and Tennessee 811. Call before you dig.
This is Titans Radio, 98.9 WANT.
To kick off the work week, skies will be mostly sunny with highs reaching the mid-50s. On Tuesday, temperatures climb into the mid-50s once again with partly cloudy skies. For Wednesday, highs will top out in the upper 50s. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. Let's look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist T.J. Scott.
All right, good morning. Welcome to part 2 of Coleman and Company here on a Monday morning. As always, it's nearly always, almost always, one time in the last how many ever years that Billy Mullinax hasn't been here. He's here today. Good morning.
I'm present and accounted for, Coleman.
Old No Haggle himself.
That's right. That's right.
Well, we are here to talk about Rocky Williams' premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram of Mount Juliet. No haggle pricing. Everybody pays the same great low price. Billy Mullinax is their general manager, and it's where they price their cars and not their customers. So officially, a good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Coleman.
Nice out there, isn't it? Just a cold winter morning.
It's a nice morning. I'm not a big fan of the cold, but it is December in Tennessee, so it's time for it to be cold.
Yeah, and a little frost this morning and all that, but it's just a typical December morning.
That's exactly right.
And it's going to be hopefully a typical Monday at Rocky Williams, because you're going to have a good day and some people going to take care of their automotive needs.
Coleman, it's going to be a great day no matter what happens. We've got opportunity, and it's
Yeah.
going to be a great day.
Well, we do talk about the way you do this every week, and the only dealer that I know that truly has the no haggle pricing and no deviation. And you talk about that a little bit every week. People have come to accept that, and those who do seem to enjoy it and don't want to go back to the old way. And maybe 5% of those that want to argue and carry on, they just don't do it at Rocky Williams.
Well, that's exactly right, Coleman. Most people don't like the negotiating process. They want to be able to go look at something and know that they're getting a fair, honest price, and overall a price that somebody else can't buy it less for. And that's the big thing. There probably are, Coleman, some other places that do stick to their guns on their one price. I don't know, but I know there are a lot based on we've had employees and customers that have been to some of those that that say they don't stick to their one price. They say they are, but at the end of the day, they move on their price, and we absolutely do not do that. Like I tell people sometimes, if you never buy a vehicle from us, my integrity is worth more than selling a vehicle.
Yeah.
And that's what we stand by.
Well, you just don't deviate from that no haggle price, and even so much so that if you're buying it, or even Rocky's children, you've said they still pay the no haggle price.
Well, that's right, and even Rocky. You know, Rocky bought a Jeep for his grandson. It's been several months ago now, and he paid exactly what we had the vehicle on the lot for, and not $1 less. And when you do that, you know everybody pays the same great low price.
Well, what about next Saturday is Christmas? What are your hours? You got a little change?
A little bit of a change, Coleman. We will be closing at noon on Friday, Christmas Eve, and then we will be closed on Christmas Day. So a little different. And then on New Year's Day, which is the following Saturday, we will be closed on that Saturday. So next couple of weeks will be a little bit different, but give people time to spend with their families and kind of get out of the normal routine.
Well, we would like to say otherwise. You are open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Your sales department is the more convenient normal hours for the people who work in the back,
That's right,
service people.
But yes, we're open from 8 to 7 on sales, so there's 11 hours in the day, plenty of time.
And you know what we haven't done this morning? I'm going to do right now.
I do know what we haven't done, and the mayor would let me know too before we got through.
We have got to always tell you that the entire inventory of new and pre-owned cars you can see if you go to the website at rockywilliams.com.
Might see your neighbor there, Coleman.
All right, we didn't forget it. Just delayed a little bit.
Mark Pody stopped by the dealership Saturday, and he said he was looking for his neighbor. So,
well, did he find his neighbor?
His neighbor was not there, but we looked.
All right, that's a good one. Well, I guess it's time to kind of wrap it up here. We have got Mayor Hutto waiting in the wings. How you want to end it this morning?
Well, Coleman, December is always a fantastic month for us. We've got a few more new vehicles now than we've had in stock. Not a lot, but a few more. We've got a great selection of pre-owned, about 215. So, it's a good time for people to buy. A lot of people buy presents, cars as presents for Christmas, but then also a lot of people are trying to spend some money before the end of the year.
Right.
So we've got a great selection. Be a great time to come out or go to our website and take a look at what we've got. And all of our vehicles are posted with our low, no haggle price.
All right. Well, that's a great way to end it here. Have a great one, and we'll see you next month.
We'll be here.
All right. Billy Mullinax, General Manager for Rocky Williams Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram of Mount Juliet. They price their cars and not their customers. 21 before the hour. I want to welcome County Mayor Randall Hutto. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, Coleman. How are you?
I'm doing well. It is good to have you today, your usual slot here on the third Monday at 7:30. And that's always, nearly always, when we have a county commission meeting. Got one scheduled tonight. And you've got a wealth of information you're going to pass along to us, so just take off.
All righty. Well, I think, first of all, let's wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Look, it seemed like just yesterday the year got started, and now it's already close to the end.
This year, to me, has flown by.
It really has.
And they do that. The older I get, the faster they seem to go.
Yeah, we talked so much about 2020 for so long, and next thing you know, it's going to be 2022.
Yep.
So it goes quick. Had a good, I will say a personal note right quick. My last young'un leaving the house, Brett Hutto, graduated from college this weekend, so from Tennessee Tech. He does already have a job, which is outstanding.
Yes.
And today's his birthday, so he's had a big weekend.
How old is he?
Brett is 23. Be 24 here today.
Happy birthday.
24 today. Yeah.
24
today.
24
today.
Happy birthday.
Yes. So unless I get corrected on my voicemail here in a minute.
Well, my middle son, Brian, you might remember him. I'm not sure. But anyway, he was, I think it was 47 yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of ours are 3 years apart. So that's the best way for me to keep up with it. But anyway, speaking of Christmas, the Christmas lights are in full gear. I've had some calls about traffic, and we're trying to do our best to alleviate the traffic. But, of course, they had long lines last night and Saturday night as well, but encourage people to go out and enjoy those. It's a really good time for your children and families to go through there together. They have a helicopter ride this year, and I've been up in it a couple of times already, and it is a fun time as well. It takes you out over the city a little bit and brings you back, and the lights look spectacular from the top of the...
I'll bet.
Yeah, they do. Just kind of some updates on some stuff that's been going on. The jail progress is still on go. If you go by and see it, of course, 2 Williams stations in Mount Juliet are still doing good there. We're still looking for land in Noreen for a convenience center. Our girls that came out and talked to you the other day, we did have a couple of 3 hits off of the radio. So, again, we know your broadcast is reaching out, but those did not work out for us, so we're still looking for some land there. I didn't get to go, but the Susan Shaw covered it for me, but the Lebanon Noon Rotary celebrated 100 years, and she represented me there. Your girl had a birthday, by the way, this last month. Sarah, I know you like Sarah in my office, and so you have to get on her a little bit when you see her.
Sarah Davenport.
Mm-hmm. I think it was a big one, but I'm not really for sure. Yeah. Lebanon High School, and got to go to Lebanon High School and Friendship Christians Bowling competition. First one, they made a pretty big deal about that, and both teams were really outstanding. I didn't realize that either until I got over and got to talking to them. We had the ribbon cutting for 109, and it's beautiful to drive it right now compared to what we had. You remember?
I have not been on in the completed highway. We've got to do that.
Yeah, you need to do that. It is really a good time.
Probably better to do it in the daytime.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Although Chad Winter Wonderland was covered his Christmas lights right there, so you probably could do that with your wife. But it is a good time. I remember when in office not too long ago that we had, call after call every time we'd have a fatality on that road about getting that taken care of, and seems like it was monthly, if not sooner, more than that. And so,
it seems almost like an eternity for it to get completed, but I guess they've done it right and took their time and done it right.
They did, and they did, and they completed the job on time. They really did a good job.
Well, good.
And that is Vulcan, and I will have to say this for them as well. They were a great company back during COVID. If you remember, we placed some signs on the road that encouraged people to do the things it took to be safe out here in our world, and they donated those signs for us and put them out there. So they were really very good to us as well. But that road is good thanks to Representative Lynn and the act that allowed that to happen. And so I know she had to push for that quite often. We did have the Commissioner of Veteran Service Officer, Mr. Tommy Baker, Major General Tommy Baker, that came to our Veteran Service Office. We had kind of a little program from him as he took over, so enjoyed that. I was in the Lebanon Parade, the Gladeville Parade, the Mount Jewett Parade. I did miss the Noreen Parade. It was the same time almost as the Gladeville Parade, so I had to kind of pick between that one this year, so I'm going to rotate back next year. And for some reason, I missed the Watertown Parade, which I hated that, but it slipped by me. But had a good time and all them. I tell you, Lebanon Parade had probably the biggest crowd I've seen in a while, and the Mount Jewett Parade did good, even though there were threats of rain that were going on at the time. We did have a chance to serve on an educational panel that down in Nashville for Sharon Roberts, which used to be the superintendent here at Lebanon Special. They were pulling people together to talk about how to make policy and need a county mayor and somebody that had been an educator too. So that worked out good, and I was able to serve on that and enjoyed that. Went to the Teacher of the Year grant awards that Chamber puts on other morning, and they had a great time and gave out several grants there on the education side. Drug court graduation. Again, so I got to see Judge Wooten there, but Jeff Dixon, of course, does a fantastic job there. I had a chance to participate and speak to a Soldier's Christmas they had at Providence Methodist this year, and that's where widows and orphans come together to have a Christmas party, but they've lost somebody in the military, a mom or a dad one, and they bring them together, and they're from all over, really, not just Wilson County, but there were several counties that come together, and so they chose to have it there. So I had a chance to speak to those. We had the Wilson County Retirees Party here, Christmas party other day. It's good to see a lot of those folks that were there. Jim Kittle and them. The Election Commission grand opening.
Yeah.
Good time over there with Mr. Philip Warren and Miss Tammy Smith, and that's a beautiful building. If you hadn't had a chance to go in there yet, you need to do that. Debbie Fisher had her retirement. As you know, I know you know Miss Debbie from your insurance days there in Wilson County. So she retired, and business recognition of the Chamber. Had a chance to be a part of that as well. So been a busy month.
You've been busy.
Yes, we sure have.
Well, we got to be busy and go to a break right here. We've got more coming up with County Mayor Randall Hutto in a moment. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford and the low price tire guarantee on all tires every day. Up to 30 days after the sale, there'll be any competitors' pricing on the tires they sell. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
That earlier crash, 24 eastbound just past White Creek Pike, trying to get through the Jolton area. It's looking better than it was 10-15 minutes ago, but it's still a little bit sluggish. It's flooded traffic, as you can imagine, down White Creek Pike right now, headed towards Nashville, coming off the interstate. That's going to slow you down just a bit as you come in from Clarksville through that section of Jolton this morning on 24 eastbound. Prince's Hot Chicken now available for catering this holiday season. Check them out at princeshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
The Dancing Lights of Christmas and Santa's Village is back for their 12th annual celebration of the magical Christmas season. With over 2 million lights spanning a 2.5-mile route, all perfectly synchronized to some rockin' Christmas tunes, you'll experience the dazzling sights and sounds of the Dancing Lights of Christmas from inside the comfort of your own vehicle. And for the first time ever, helicopter rides are available, where you can see the lights dance from the sky. The Dancing Lights of Christmas and Santa's Village at the Wilson County Fairgrounds, 5 p.m. nightly, including all holidays. More info at thedancinglightsofchristmas.com.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us here on our Monday morning. County Mayor Randall Hutto, and we're in our final segment now. Got about 11 and a half minutes to find out what else is going on with our Johnny Mere, but I tell you, all those places you've been since last month, you've been a busy guy. It goes with the territory, though, doesn't it?
You know, this time of year is, I think sometimes you think things kind of slim down, but really they don't. And they'll pick up between now and New Year's, too, with several events of people celebrating Christmas and having open houses. And so it does. You know, sometimes I see people and they say, I ain't seen you in a while. And I'm thinking, man, I've been out there because there's always something going on, it seems like. And
yeah, you've made a bunch of parades. You've been out there where the people are.
Yes, sir.
But we got a county commission meeting tonight. Are you ready to get to that?
Yes, sir. Sure am. Tonight we'll start out with a prayer and pledge. Miss Sonia Robinson will have that. We do have one item on the consent agenda, which is a line item transfer for finance, but it's small, $1,500. The resolution then will be the first one to give the county the same powers that the cities have to take care of nuisance and other practice that they're detrimental to the inhabitants of the county. It'd be something sort of like a noise ordinance maybe, and I'll let Mike talk about that a little more in detail tomorrow. The line item transfer here in the budget in the building inspector's office, we'll move some money around from fund balance to fuel line for those guys. Line item transfer in the circuit court where they're going to be moving some money from the data processing fees to supplement the monthly storage. They put some on what they call EMS, to where they store their documents there for people to be able to look up. Line item transfer for the election commission from their fund balance to purchase some security upgrades for the voting machines, which was much needed. Line item transfer in the expo, we're going to transfer money out of some state grant funds that we got to build an ADA door in the front of the expo. We'll have one on the side, now we'll have one in the front as well. Line item transfer from fund balance, it's kind of pass-through money here for salary supplements provided through the state for the health department. Line item transfer for juvenile service for part-time licensed clinical therapist to a full-time status. We'll line item transfer in the PEG channel for vehicle repairs that they have. The line item transfer in the sheriff's office for the general fund to other wages and salaries there. Those a lot of times are also transfers that come in through state grants and stuff, and certificates that they qualify for. And I would like to say this too, as we talk about that election commission, on the right-hand side, there is going to be document storage. So half of that Fred's building will turn into that, which will be a good thing for all of our offices that have to pay for storage outside of the courthouse, because we don't have a room to store everything there, so they pay in for storage somewhere else. So now they'll be able to put their storage items over there, easy to get to for them and the public, as well as they'll save the money that they were paying for storage, and so it becomes really another win for us there.
Well, knowing you a little bit, I think you try to do as much with the county's money as you can, like you do your own.
Yes, sir.
And which means being thrifty, and if you can save $1, you save it.
That is true. And, back when this building came open, I had a lot of commissioners, Commissioner Weathers and others that had come in, she was the chairman of Public Works, and they always talked to me about, anytime you have a building close to you, you may want to think about getting that building. And that was kind of a process to get that one. When it first went out, we tried to get the building. They went bankrupt, and a company bought all 26 Freds at one time. And then they contacted us back and said, hey, we've got the building now. I heard you had an interest. And so, they asked $1.2 million for it. We offered them, as you'd say, my cheap self here, but offered them $850. They came back at $875 and said, if you can close before New Year's, we'll give you that deal. And so that worked out. It was good. And it's, it was too large just for the election commission on itself. Although one thing it did for Mr. Phillip and Tammy is that, it allowed them now to be all under one building. All of their equipment's in there. They can train in there. They got a good place to vote in there, a good place for their office. And so that is good. But so that's where the idea of the other half came up, because we had so many people saying, the documents continue to store and store. And of course, Miss Linda Grandstaff that takes care of archives, she's got everything 60 and below. 1960 and below, and then the other ones 60 and above stay with the offices. And so anyway, but I know we got more to.
By the way, Philip was here last Monday and talked about the grand opening, which was, what was it, Wednesday?
Yes, sir.
Wednesday, okay. But didn't say anything about retiring. And this sort of got sprung on us, but I think it's official now. He is retiring from the Election Commission.
To my knowledge, that's what I had heard at the opening there. Yes, sir.
And so there's what was Shakespeare wrote this? The plot thickens.
Well, I think Miss Tammy was going to be the successor, and she is outstanding as well. And hate to lose Mr. Phillip, but
Ronnie Kelly told me off the air last Thursday when he's here, and he's one of the 5 who run the elections. Yeah,
gotcha.
Hire the administrative elections and so on. But anyway, a real surprise there to me. I mean, I had him on Monday and didn't know a thing about this.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on.
Okay. Line item transfer here in Sports Authority to transfer the sales tax that they earn through the race. And that's just something that has to happen because they do earn some of that while it's out there. And just to answer that question too, people have asked me, what about the bonds since they sold out? And those were just transferred, so everything continues like normal. We'll still have races, just got a new owner out there. So all of that is good. Line item transfer in WEMA for other salaries and wages to overtime. Where they've been lacking of people, they've had to work their people that they have in there, which is those people now have accrued some overtime. And so they just take the money that they would have been spending on the people they couldn't hire and put that in overtime to pay the people that are having to work right now overtime for the lack of personnel. And that lack of personnel in WEMA, just so everybody knows, that is across the state. That is not just here. That is everywhere, and it is tough. I think the field itself has been tough for people to go into lately. And it is a tough job to work at when you think about it. They're 24 on, 48 off. So not only do they see a lot of things that me and you never see and don't want to see when they go to wrecks and those kind of things, but they spend 1 out of every 3 away from their family. So it is a tough job as far as that goes on circumstances. We are very thankful for the people that we have that have chosen that profession.
Well, is there any move afoot to maybe raise the pay as an incentive to get more?
Yes, and I think, pay is always a concern. The thing we heard from the Tennessee Board of Regents where there were not many people going into the field anymore either, which is a problem. But yes, so the pay study is being done, should be completed in January. And of course, you have to have reoccurring funds to do that. And so we'll put this around the pay plan to my knowledge to do that and try to address that and other needs that we have also in the county as far as pay goes. We've been doing that on every 3-year cycle. We may have to move that to every other year to stay competitive with people right now.
Well, hopefully there's enough that response time is not affected too much and can still get the job done even with lesser people there to do it.
And they are doing a good job. And one of the things, when they talk about shutting down stations for us, we're one of the few counties in the state, maybe 5, that have 24/7 service in the rural area. Most people just work out of one office in the middle, so they never shut a station down because they only have one to keep open. And if we ever shut a station down, it would be in the outskirts, a station that Joey knows that, hey, look, I don't have many calls there, so I can send somebody there. Their goal is not to shut any station down. That's what their goal is. But because we're so spread out, which is good for the citizen because that's a faster response time, 365 days out of the year until you have this kind of situation happen to you. So I think we have to keep that in mind as well. They're way above most every county in the state with the services that we provide, and their people are cross-trained. They can ride an ambulance or a fire truck, which again saves money for the county, but also has a dual person in response out there on the ground, so that if you have a large problem, you're able to that fireman could handle a medical need if he needs.
We got about 2 minutes left.
Okay,
What else you got?
I got 3 more here, and I'll be done with you. Line item transfer in WEMA to take some money out of there. They sold some surplus items, and they take that sale money and put it back in their ambulance fund. Line item transfer in education. And then there's a resolution on the opioid settlement where that settlement, of course, has been done. And so those drug companies are paying now on the settlement. And so we're just being a part of that suit to be sure we get our portion of that money.
Yeah.
And by saying that, really, you're saying you're not going to sue any pharmaceutical company individually, which we wouldn't do anyway. So we're just a part of that organization as they hand out those funds. And hopefully we're thinking those funds might be enough to help us build a judicial center that we're talking about building behind the jail.
I might bring this up quickly here. I think there's federal money coming in, maybe with some strings attached, but Are you working on that?
Yes, sir. You're talking about the money that we got, the 14.2 million now, and 14.2 coming a little bit later on. That money is there, the ARP money, as they call it. We have designated some areas for that to go. We're waiting on the final rule to come out from the federal government. We have spent some of that money out of our fund balance, and we will feed it back in there as long as that's an approval expenditure. And so that part we're waiting on. The Horn Group is what they call a third-party administrator to this, and so we've sent our recommendations to them, and so they're the ones that are kind of the gatekeeper. They will approve or disapprove of what we got, and if they approve of it, then we spend it, and we're just being safe about that.
Well, I guess I should ask Aaron Maynard this, but we're in pretty good shape financially with good fund balance and doing all right, aren't we?
We are, sir. I have to say that our county commissioners have been very, very frugal. And we have worked hard. Aaron Maynard and his team continue to. We're in better shape, Coleman, than I know that we've ever been in. Our fund balances are strong. Some because of COVID, some in spite of COVID, and everything that we've been through. But those are what some people would call a rainy day fund. Those are really strong. Our property taxes continue to roll in good. Our sales tax continues to increase. We are a thriving county in a time that's been tough. And that's because of the people that run the businesses here. And we have a lot of people moving in, and we talk about, controlling growth and all that. But, this is really a good place to live, and that's why people want to come be here.
Well, thanks for being with us this morning.
Sir. Thank you.
See you next month.
Merry Christmas.
That is it for a Monday. Join us tomorrow. Until then, I wish you a magnificent